Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a Mydei HSR by me. So let's get into it. The first sign that something was wrong came when your knees gave out halfway across the room. You'd barely managed to catch yourself on the edge of the table, hand trembling, sweat slick on your eyebrow. The second sign came when he appeared. Mydei didn't make dramatic entrances. His presence always arrived first, somehow. When he rounded the doorway, his gold eyes narrowed. His voice was quiet. "You look terrible." You opened your mouth to argue, or call him out on how rude that was. But your legs buckled again, and this time he caught you. One arm around your back, the other steady beneath your knees. You let out a weak breath, and sagged against his chest. Annoyed, but too exhausted to even do anything about it. "I can still walk, Mydei." "Right. And I told you to rest yesterday. And here we are." His tone wasn't angry, just calm, frustratingly so. "You want my opinion? I've seen better looking corpses in that river." You groaned, burying your face into the crook of his shoulder. "That's dramatic, even for you." He didn't laugh. Instead, he shifted his hold and carried you over to the bed, setting you down with infuriating gentleness. A gentleness that most people would not expect, especially from someone who is supposed to embody strife. "Lie down. No arguments," he says. And you tried to protest. Really, you did. But your body was done fighting. He reached for a blanket and wrapped it around your shoulders, tucking it under your arms with meticulous care. You watched his face as he worked, focused, frowning slightly. His hands were warm, always warm, and he lingered just long enough to let you feel it. "You're running a fever. Breathing shallow. When did this start?" he asked, brushing damp hair back from your forehead. You shrugged, the throat sore. "Yesterday? Maybe the day before that." "And you didn't say anything?" "I thought it would pass." He stared at you, unimpressed. "You thought your lungs would stop rattling if you just ignored them?" "Eventually it had to work." He gave you a look that said that he was trying very hard not to sigh. Instead, he got up without a word and walked toward the corner cabinet. You heard him filling a bowl with water, grabbing cloths, pulling jars of herbs and other things with practiced ease. Perhaps, even though many others would not expect, Mydei was the one to take care of his friends when it mattered. Or at least some of them. Although, most of the time, it was now Hyacinth doing that. "How did you even know how to do this?" "I've seen a lot of people die from things they thought they could sleep off. And I've had to stop it when I could." There was something quiet in his voice, something old and heavy. So you didn't press. When he returned, he set the ball beside you, soaked the cloth in the water, and pressed it to your forehead. His touch was careful, precise, like you were made of something breakable. "Close your eyes." You obeyed, and a moment passed, then another. You let yourself sink into the warmth of the bed and the coolness of the cloth. The sound of him moving, slow, steady, and grounding, filled the quiet room. You shouldn't be this good at this. Makes me wonder how often you had to take care of people. "Too often." The bed deputy sat beside you, one hand finding yours beneath the blanket. I'm used to it, taking care of myself.
I know that. But I'm here now. You don't have to keep doing it alone.
Your eyes sting. Maybe from the fever. Maybe not. Don't go all sentimental on me. It's just a cold.
I've seen colds kill people.
You look at him, frowning. You're really bad at comforting someone, you know? You shouldn't be telling me this. His lips curled faintly.
I'm not trying to comfort you. I'm reminding you I'm not leaving this room until you get better.
You blinked at him. You're staying? He crossed his arms, tilting his head, and he gave you that look that told you that he was not moving, and you should not absolutely try to question this or dissuade him from staying. And so hours passed, maybe more. You drifted in and out of sleep, waking sometimes to the sound of him changing the cloth, sometimes to the weight of his hand on your chest. Once, you woke to find him holding your wrist. When you opened your eyes again, some time later, he was still there, seated beside the bed, and you stared at him for a moment before speaking. Do you ever get sick? He looked down at you. He shrugged.
I haven't in the last decade.
You reached out, and he took your hand, squeezing it. He didn't want you to overexert yourself, but he wouldn't leave you alone either. Not until he was sure that you were well. And so you closed your eyes again. And as you were about to drift off to sleep, you thanked him. He didn't answer at first, waiting until you were fully asleep before he murmured,
You take care of me in ways that I can't name. This is the least that I could do.
and then he kissed your knuckles, getting up to make you soup. Because if there was one thing he knew, nothing helps you get better more than a hearty meal. And he's struggling to sit still with all those feelings in his heart.